FBI last summer with child pornography following a 10-month federal investigation. Now, Mary Morin's attorney told us by email, quote, this afternoon, this was just not another terrible event that can be swept under the rug. Unlike some tragedies, this was preventable. Court officials tell us the doctor must file to address the complaint by tomorrow. Jill Konopka, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Jill. That story only on 3 tonight. We're also following developing news in Middletown. Thousands of neighbors should now be seeing running water again, or at least fully running water, no low pressure. This because of a large water main break over at the Etna demolition site.
Yeah, about 2,000 people had low water pressure or no water at all. Channel 3's Ray Vieta is live with the mobile newsroom in Middletown now. And
Ray, what should neighbors expect this evening?
Well, Al, they should expect to see that work has wrapped up in their Westfield neighborhood and water should be running again. Right now, we know that the Middletown Department's water crews were actually here at the Etna site, just double checking everything to make sure that pressure is up and the water is running. In this Westfield neighborhood, folks experienced low water pressure or lack of water around 1:30 this afternoon. That's when a contractor at the old Etna complex hit an 8-inch main, causing a break and mess of water at the demolition site, affecting thousands of homes. Crews flushed out the air on a system of pipes in the area around Brickley Drive this afternoon and expect water to be running smoothly tonight in the Westfield section of town. Some advice from the water department: make sure your water is running. Turn on the cold water and let the bubbles out. And if you have any problems, you're asked to call the Middletown Water Department. That number should be on the bottom of your screen. Right now we're live with the mobile newsroom in Middletown. I'm Ray Vieta, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And while we're in Middletown, we have some new information tonight on the controversy over money that was allegedly missing from the books at the Board of Education. The school officials now say that money may have been paid to teachers. Last week, Mayor Sebastian Giuliano said an audit showed well over $1 million was unaccounted for in the school district. He also said a criminal investigation was underway into the misuse of some funds. In a statement, the district says tonight, and we quote, "It is quite possible that the millions of dollars on the books in June, which the mayor alleges disappeared, were summer salaries for teachers."
New at 6 today, police returned to the scene of a murder in New Haven. It's where a teen was shot and killed over the weekend. This was the second time a teenager has been shot in the Elm City in just a matter of weeks. Channel 3 New Haven Bureau Chief Robert Goulston joins us live now. And Robert, fill us in on the latest with this case.
Well, Hallie, we'll begin with the fact that there's been a police presence here for most of the afternoon. The 17-year-old victim was shot and killed right here, which is right behind his home. And unfortunately, he is the second teen this month to be shot.
It's really hard. It's really hard for the moms. It's really hard for the aunts, and myself included. And you know, at this point, we don't know what's going on.
A murder in New Haven, and unfortunately, it's a similar scenario. A teenager hit by a bullet, but this time the teen was killed. Vashon Lewis was hit right outside his Goff Street home on Saturday. Police detectives were on scene today looking for leads.
I guess with time, you know, they'll come up with something, but right now it's just bad.
Earlier this month, another 17-year-old was shot on the other side of the city. Nobody has been charged in that case either, but questions are being raised about why so many young people are getting caught up in this violence.
It's bad for the boys, and it's the environment. It's what they see. They adapt into their environment.
New Haven has been battling high numbers of shootings for several years, with many of the victims between the ages of 16 to 18. In 2009, there were 30 non-fatal shootings involving victims between 16 and 18 years old. In 2010, there were 22, and this year, to date, 7. These numbers don't include homicides. People, especially people related to the victims, are trying to figure out how to make it stop.
The teenager in general is unreachable. You know, they have a mindset of their own. So it's like if they don't start out with that positive, that strong foundation, they're easily led astray.
And as you can see, there is a police officer here from New Haven stationed out here. Detectives have been in and out all afternoon. In the meantime, though, Vashon's family has actually been trying to plan a funeral service for as early as next Monday. We are live at the mobile newsroom in New Haven. Robert Goulston, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Still more to come here tonight on Eyewitness News at 6.
The impact of Governor Malloy's proposed tax hikes on car buyers. What the plans would mean for people who want to trade in their vehicles.
Some say you might as well call this the Butt Ugly building as well. Coming up, the public sounds off on what they want done with the Capitol West building.
From Southington and Enfield to the capital city, Bureau Chief Len Bestoff is everywhere in Greater Hartford, only on Eyewitness News.
Wherever news happens.
In New Haven.
In Waterbury.
In New London.
Eyewitness News is there.
In East Haddam.
In West Hartford.
In Meriden.
With more local stories from more places.
In your neighborhood.
Where you live.
In Middletown. In Cheshire.
In Hartford.
We're everywhere news happens in Connecticut.
Everywhere.
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 Channel 3 Eyewitness News is everywhere. Covering news in your town. This is Channel 3 Eyewitness News at 6. Eyewitness News is everywhere in Connecticut.
Could new taxes backfire and prompt people to stop buying cars in Connecticut? Some dealership operators say yes. They're worried that Governor Malloy's attempt to generate revenue will push customers to nearby states. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Susan Laff is live in the newsroom with more on a proposed luxury car tax. Susan?
Hallie, Governor Malloy is actually proposing two new taxes, a luxury tax on cars over $50,000 and a tax which would affect those who trade in their cars. And this would add a lot of money to the price of a new car. Dan Sawyer was out with his son looking at new cars. He likes Cadillacs, but doesn't like the new taxes that would make this car a lot more expensive.
I think it's lousy. I mean, you know, why should we buy any cars in Connecticut?
Governor Malloy's budget would increase the tax on cars that cost over $50,000, and he wants to change the trade credit. That means if Dan Sawyer traded in his old car, he would no longer pay tax on the adjusted amount, but the price of a new car. The car industry has taken a beating. In 2007, 16 million cars were sold nationwide. Just 2 years later, at the peak of the recession, that number crashed to under 7 million. But last year, people started to buy again, and car sales jumped to 13.5 million. Tom Scranton from Scranton Motors in Vernon says this is because banks are starting to lend again.
There was no credit for an individual. It wasn't credit for businesses.
What's happening now?
They're loosening up.
Scranton says it would be smarter to leave things alone and that higher taxes would force people to go to other states. And that could also hurt his repair business because people tend to fix cars where they buy them.
I wouldn't buy a car in Connecticut if that's what's going to be the price.
You won't. You'll go elsewhere.
I'll go somewhere else.
Now, the price of a new car on average will increase more than $1,000, and customers say it's almost like double taxation. You get taxed when you buy and then when you sell. Susan Raff, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
And now a revised state tax plan is in the works. Leaders of the legislature's tax writing committee say they are close to a deal now with the governor. The committee expects to vote sometime this week on this plan that would increase taxes for the next fiscal year by about $1.5 billion. Lawmakers say this revised plan takes into account the concerns that have been raised at public hearings on the governor's budget. You know how he's going to be going around the state for the first 100 days in his office, and his tax proposals would affect everything from personal income to car washes. And when we get the details, we'll let you know.
Hartford Mayor Pedro Segarra released his budget. It does not include an increase in taxes, and there are no layoffs. The budget for the capital city is $547 million. That's an increase of just over $3 million because of pension contributions, bond obligations, and collective bargaining. But these numbers do rely on state funding. Governor Malloy promised to flat fund cities and towns, but last week he said if he can't reach a deal on cuts with state workers, he may have to give less.
Should Hartford spend money to take a blighted building by eminent domain and tear it down? How residents can weigh in on the plan still ahead.
And there's a lot of rain in the early warning 7-day forecast, but it won't be a washout. I'll explain just ahead. Eyewitness News is in Haddam this evening with your early warning neighborhood forecast. That's coming up next.
Everywhere with weather
and traffic every 10 minutes.
Everywhere with breaking news
and the day's top stories.
Eyewitness News is everywhere to start your day.
New tonight at 6, battling blight in Hartford. Tonight, residents get to weigh in on whether they think the city ought to take over the rundown Capitol West building. This is a massive structure on Myrtle Street, quite visible to passing motorists on I-84. And Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Karen Lee is live in Hartford from the site of the building. With more on this controversy. Karen?
from where we're standing, you can see all the windows have been blown out, and even the wooden boards covering it have holes in them. And that's not even the worst side. Drivers on the highway are forced to look at the front of the building. Now, just across the highway is Union Station, and visitors tell us that this eyesore is the first thing they see when they come to Hartford. One woman even telling us she thought the building was in a devastating fire.
Even a quick drive past the Capitol West building and you can see it's crumbled so badly, it's become the see-through building. Hartford Mayor Pedro Segarra would like to take a wrecking ball to the blighted structure. Out-of-staters coming through nearby Union Station say it's a good idea.
Oh, I saw that coming down. Was it burned down or something? And I just mentioned to my dad when we came over, I'm like, this don't look right.
Because of the way it's built and located, there could be some engineering challenges. The city would like to use eminent domain to knock it down. The people we caught up with, however, say it's about time.
I actually work for the Greater Hartford Transit District, and my executive director would like to see it going too. I'll be honest with you, so it really is an eyesore.
Public hearing begins at 7 o'clock tonight at City Hall. We're live with the mobile newsroom in Hartford. Karen Lee, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Kids learning how to swim may get to test their skills in an upgraded school. That's one story we have for you tonight as Eyewitness News goes everywhere, town by town. In Rocky Hill, the owners of the School of Swimming and Camp Eagle Feather are looking to upgrade the facilities. They want to build an addition with restrooms, a nursing station, and an arts and crafts area. The Planning and Zoning Committee will hold a public hearing on this on Wednesday. Over in Berlin, you could see some road work coming up. The town is looking to fix about 30 miles of beat-up pavement. The project's expected to cost more than $6 million. The town council is going to be talking about this at their meeting on Thursday. And in Newington, the Clem Lemire Recreation Center will be getting some turf installed next month. The work on New Britain Avenue will include 4 sports field light posts and lamps. The project should cost about $1 million. Eyewitness News is everywhere, town by town.
Now, Channel 3 Early Warning Weather. Powered by Early Warning Pinpoint Doppler. Tracking weather in your town and everywhere in Connecticut.
And we are just now 4 weeks into the spring season. We've had plenty of April showers, and we're anticipating more, but we're already seeing, some May flowers popping up across the state. You can see this picture coming in from Sharon. The Rogers sending this one in, where the temperature today hit 54 degrees. The daffodils on their way up, definitely a sign of the spring season. And we are looking at more rain, and actually more rain than drier weather as we head through the next 5 to 7 days. Our city cam from Waterbury checking out the scene there in the Brass City. Overcast currently here at 6:17 in the evening. As we head to Branford, you can see there plenty of cloud cover, and that's a common scene throughout the state as we also take into New London, checking out the scene there from the southeastern corner of our state. And temperatures, just depending upon your location, still pretty mild. For instance, in Hartford, where it's 62, but on the cool side in Groton, where it's 49 degrees, it's 53 in New Haven and 53 currently in Torrington. And scanning within the cloud cover, we've been tracking some rain. It's now starting to reach the ground. This little area or cell that moved out of Danbury, you can see some of those darker greens at one point, producing some light rain in Danbury as that continues to move off to the east. So keep that umbrella and on hand this evening. Scattered showers will be in the forecast at least through the coming hours, and then winding down a bit as we head through the overnight time frame. So looking to our west, you can actually see some snow back through the eastern Great Lakes, accumulating snow in Buffalo, New York earlier this afternoon. In the last few frames here, you can see some yellows and oranges and even some reds popping up in northern sections of Pennsylvania. So if that continues on an easterly track, we could see some heavier downpours here locally later on this evening, several hours from now, and then a bit of a break before another round of some wet weather moves in by around this time tomorrow afternoon and evening. So you can already see that next disturbance in the central and northern plains that eventually will be riding in our direction. So we are going to see more in the way of cloud cover, and eventually we will see some sunshine, but that's not going to happen until Thursday and Friday, at least, where we're going to see 1 to possibly 2 days of completely dry weather. So between now and then, looking unsettled. On our early warning futurecast, tomorrow's weather today, 7 o'clock this evening, you'll see those greens move right across Connecticut. So again, some rain through the early overnight hours, a lull by the morning commute tomorrow, and then that next wave moving in tomorrow afternoon and evening, again right across Connecticut, and then winding down. But then another one with a cold front is going to be moving through on Wednesday, and before that cold front gets here, temperatures could pop well into the 60s by Wednesday, and then that rain will move in again, bringing some drier and slightly cooler weather in store for the end of the week. So tonight, temperatures go down to the lower and mid 40s, 42 Salisbury, 44 Willimantic, 46 Middletown as well for New Haven, and also New New London. Also 46 our forecast low for Hartford. Tomorrow afternoon, high temperatures a little bit cooler than today, lower to mid 50s. 54 for Hartford, 52 New Haven, around 53 for Norwich, as well for Waterbury, 52 Torrington, and also 52 for Putnam. On our early warning 7-day forecast, again on Wednesday, we may pop into the warm air briefly. Temperatures then could top out in the lower to mid 60s. Chance for some rain and possibly some thunder late in the day as a cold front moves through. It's also going to be windy in the wake of this one by Thursday. Partial clearing will call for a mix of sun and clouds. 59, mostly sunny Friday, 62 for Earth Day. And then as we head into the upcoming weekend, another storm system could plague us with some more unsettled weather Saturday into Easter Sunday. Temperatures then upper 50s to near 60 for both weekend days. Also on the windy side, and there's a check of shoreline highs mid to upper 50s all the way through the upcoming weekend.
Thanks, Mark. Coming up all new tonight at 11, caught in the line of a dangerous tornado. How one man found himself right in the path of this twister. It's tonight after Hawaii 5-0.
Chaz and AJ. And Scott Haney. It's good for you, like soup. Channel 3 early morning weather. Now rocks on 99.1 PLR.
Now, Eyewitness Sports.
That 2-10 start for the Red Sox seems to be quickly in the rearview mirror for the ball club. Boston wrapping up a 4-game set with the Jays on Patriots Day, a day marking the anniversary of the battles at Lexington and Concord back in 1775. The game starting at its traditional time at 11:07 this morning. Dice K looking for his first win of the season. Bottom 5, Boston led 3-0. Jed Lowry changes that with a 2-run home run. Lowry becomes the 4th player of the season to have 4 hits and 4 RBIs in the same game. Plenty for Dice K in the 6th, strikes out Jason Nix, the right-hander allowing just 1 hit over 7 innings and striking out 3. Bottom of the inning, the floodgates begin to open. Kevin Youkilis takes it over the wall for the 2-run shot. That made it a 7-0 ball game. Then the best news for Red Sox Nation. Carl Crawford goes to left off the monster, breaking an 0 for 15 slump and getting a standing O from Red Sox Nation as a result. Boston takes the series with the 9-1 victory, having now won 3 straight. They now begin an 8-game road trip starting Tuesday in Oakland. Also taking place on Patriots Day, the 115th running of the Boston Marathon, and a record day on the men's side. Kenyon's Jeffrey Mutai finishes in a time of 2 hours, 3 minutes, and 2 seconds, setting a world record. Meanwhile, on the women's side, Kenya's Caroline Khalif wins it in a time of just over 2 hours and 22 minutes, while American Desiree Davila finished in 2nd place. Now, you can't stop Ray Allen. You can really only hope to contain him. The Celtics guard coming up clutch in Boston's Game 1 victory over the Knicks just last night with the go-ahead 3-point shot. Allen continues to be clutch down the stretch for the C's. The Boston guard has now made an NBA-leading 7 go-ahead 3-pointers in the final 10 seconds of the 4th quarter. Boston getting the victory despite an impressive performance from the Knicks' Amari Stoudemire, who scored 28 points and grabbed 11 boards in the loss. But it all adds up to a big win for the Celtics to start off the postseason.
For the most part, I wasn't worried about shooting the ball. You know, once we kind of settled in and, you know, played the type of basketball we're capable of playing, I knew we were going to all find our comfort zone.
I think we had a great chance to win. We played well throughout the full 48 minutes. We just didn't quite close it out down the stretch. In the playoffs, you have to take these games and learn from them.
Game 2 is Tuesday in Boston. Whale fans still believing after the team's 3-1 victory over Portland last night in Game 3 of the series. Connecticut capping off the victory with a John Mitchell power play goal in the 3rd to secure the win. His 2nd goal of the series. Game 4 Tuesday at 7 o'clock from the XL Center. NHL playoffs tonight. Game 3 in Montreal between Boston and the Canadiens. And in baseball tonight, Rockets will host New Hampshire. That'll do it for sports. I'm John Brickley. Al and Hallie, back over to you.
All right, thank you, John. So one final check on the weather, Mark, is people getting ready to celebrate potentially Passover Seder, heading out for that.
We got showers this evening. Tomorrow, also by later Wednesday, a chance for some thunder. Dry weather Thursday, Friday. Then Easter weekend not looking good either. Chances of rainbow Saturday and Sunday.
Goodness.
Oh, that rain. Thanks a lot.
We'll have to make our own sunshine, Hallie.
Thanks for joining us tonight at Eyewitness News. We'll see you back here at 11. Take care.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News is always on. For breaking news, early warning weather, and webcasts anytime, go to WFSB.com. Channel 3 Eyewitness News is everywhere.